Oh, well, I thought I was supposed to be meeting with Karen Slater. That does not look, I think that looks like a famous painter.
I know. I was painting some happy little emails.
Happy little emails. Yes, that's what we're here to talk about today. Welcome everyone to the Litmus Live Optimization Part 2 on Halloween. I am not a Lisa Frank leopard. This is not Bob Ross. The illusion is failed. I'm Angie Wyman.
And I'm Karen Slater.
Welcome everyone to another round. We are really excited to do another set of emails today, live email optimization. If you haven't seen one of these sessions before, really exciting because we've got all these great submissions from you folks out there, submitting your emails, being super brave and vulnerable, showing us your emails that you have, giving us some challenges that you're maybe trying to overcome with your emails. And we just kind of go through them and give our 2 cents, I guess, our recommendations, things that we would have you take a look at, or maybe inspire the rest of the audience for ideas for them. So I'm really excited to get started. Bob, Karen, you're ready, right?
I am. And if you guys have any QAs, please, we're not going to be monitoring the chat because it gets super busy in there because you guys are all so psyched about this. So make sure you put them in the Q&A section and I'll keep an eye on that. And if I see anything, chances are, based on the last time this happened, you will have lots of questions and we will not have time to get to all of them. So I'm sorry if we don't. Feel free to tap us in Slack and say, hey, why didn't you answer my question? Or can you answer my question? And we'll get back to you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. So we're going to jump right in. And we are looking at this first submission today from Royal Caribbean. Really excited to look at this one. And Karen, I'm going to scroll through the entire email. It is a long one. So we're just going to kind of point out a few things as we go through this.
Yeah. And caveat for today, a lot of the emails we picked today incorporate personalization. We're kind of going to walk through. We picked them specifically because as we were talking about them before this, we were like, oh, they did a great job with this personalization, or they could have done this with personalization. So you might see a little bit more personalization come into this session than you did in the last session. That's not to say every email needs to be personalized. It doesn't. But these ones could do a great job at it, or could do a better job at it, or do a great job and could do a better job at it.
Totally. Awesome. So this is coming to us. Sarah has an upcoming cruise from the 8th to the 14th. So this is an email really promoting doing all of those things before you go on a cruise, up leveling your experience, right? Drink packages, offshore experiences. So that's the goal of this email, is to send out to someone who has a cruise coming up. So let's scroll through this and see what it looks like. And we love this GIF, Karen. I know you and I talked about this GIF.
Oh yeah, I love the GIF. It's so subtle. It's not like a ton of motion. So I mean, I have issues with motion, so it might be a bigger issue for people who do, but to me, it's very subtle and it catches your eyes. You'll like start scrolling and like, wait, what was that? And you run back up. The one thing that I said about this, I think, Angie, is that the guy zip lines across this way and the offer's over here. So like just from a design perspective, maybe have him zip line towards the offer so your eye goes towards the offer instead of away from the offer. On the other hand, you read left to right, so it's like you see him right away and you start right there. So I don't know. 6 of one, half a dozen of the other.
Yeah, well, sounds like a good test to me. Awesome. So yeah, we've got a lot of other ideas and things here. We see what they have purchased, which is nice to see that we are acknowledging what they already have purchased for their journey, but then all of the other things that they're recommending as well.
Yeah, this is a really long email. I do love that stuff popping out at the top. That's so cute. This is a really long email though, and I wonder if it could be a really long email with a lot of different call to actions. And I wonder if it could almost be separated out into different parts. Or, I mean, this is a test that we got sent, so I wonder if it even is like, these are all of the options we have, and maybe they did personalize content and it wasn't this long. But I would recommend like maybe just serving up, making it a series. You've got, this is in December in theory, so you've got time between now and then to send different things with different versions. with these packages, I think this would be a great place to put like an interest tracker or something that says, so X number of people on your cruise are doing these packages or interested in this package. Just kind of adds a little bit of oh, I'm not going to go and do this by myself. I'm going to be doing it with other people, and I can see that. They did. See, they did do it.
Well, it only says guests. So I'm wondering if this is a good opportunity to really easily, quickly put in how many guests, right? Like for this particular cruise, I know that's one of the things that I always do is like I'm looking up, do people do the drink packages? Is it worth it? And if I see that a large number of other guests are doing it, that's going to draw me to be like, oh, I should probably do this as well.
Arguably for the introverts, I don't know why you're going on a cruise, but sometimes we need to be extroverted too. But if you see a lot of people going on that package, maybe that would steer you towards another package, because that's too many people that are involved in that, and I don't want to do that. But it's just that little bit of information that helps people make decisions.
Totally. Yep. Absolutely. I'm just going to scroll down here to the very bottom too, because once, when I saw this, great opportunity to use an animated image carousel to be able to show all of the different cruise amenities, because it's hard to get. I mean, there's tons of options in here. So when you're being able to display those in one image, and it's really eye-catching to see all of these like premium editions right here. So I would definitely, that draws my eye.
Yeah, that's really nice. I love the very bottom. We haven't gotten to it yet, but I see it coming there. Look at all of that personalization. How many days to board? It's got your cruise dates. It's got your reservation number. It's got your loyalty status. You could almost do you could add a progress bar there to show you how close you are to getting to the next loyalty status. Unless Platinum is the top. I am not a Royal Caribbean user, so I don't know what the program is. There's always more, right? So you could add a little progress tracker in there instead of just having the loyalty, but it's great. And I know I love Litmus Personalize. It makes it easy to do these things if you're not familiar with code and you're not familiar with how to do it in your ESP, because these are all live text, which is great. That means because they're optimized based on the send time. So when somebody sends the email, you have that data in your ESP so you can pull it in. So that's great. But if you don't have the way to do that, Litmus Personalize offers a great way to do that as well.
Yep. Good call.
That's a very pretty email. It's just very long. It's just so long, and there's so much in it. Like that's the biggest critique is like, let's segment. If somebody went on a cruise before and they like the beverage package, let's make sure we serve them the beverage package and maybe something. I mean, because obviously people are multifaceted. They like lots of things, so you can't pigeonhole people. Right. But if they've liked something previously, offer them that, and then maybe one other thing, not 50 other things.
Right. There's tons of options, but then that makes it easy for you too. Then because you have tons of options for a drip campaign, building that anticipation to the cruise and not have to like make 17 decisions within one campaign. So
and throw a poll in. They like beverages, and they ask what else they like, and then serve that up in the next email.
Yeah, I love that. Very beautiful email. Really, really excited to share that one with everyone. I think we are ready to go to the next one. You ready, Karen?
Yeah, sure.
All right.
I mean, I could talk about emails all day.
Any one email we could probably
discuss.
But I was really happy to be able to kind of showcase this great email from Rainforest Alliance. Really making a call for volunteers and activism. And this is a semi-personalized email looking to make sure that people understand the opportunities they have to volunteer. What are the opportunities? How do you get started? So this one is, really nicely done email. But I know we wanted to talk a little bit about the links in here and the CTAs.
Yeah. I love the way the image pops out of the top. I think anything that breaks the box like that is always fun and draws attention. But then I think the CTAs, that one is super long. I thought it was 2 when I first looked at it, and I was like, oh, those are super close. You shouldn't have 2 CTAs very close together like that. And then I realized that no, it is 1. So maybe shortening it a little bit so that it's not as long. Not a ton. You don't want it to be one word is kind of hard to click on. But let's see, just easy opportunities for volunteering. End it there.
Yep.
So yeah, the next sections, I love that they pop out of the images. Unfortunately, they are all images. And so when you shrink it on a mobile device, they get very tiny. So I have two options for you. One, if you want to keep that pop out and you don't know how to code, and so you need to keep it as an image, that's fine. Create a mobile version where they're stacked so that the text is larger, and then hide and show that image, desktop versus mobile, so that you can read that content. And then do that with all three of them. Or two, as much as it sucks, lose the pop out and just turn it into live text, which would be even better because people can search it. Screen readers can actually read it. You don't need to have a giant alt text for it. It is a toss up. It's like, do you want it to be a designed, or do you want it to be content that people can easily read? I think one of the things we had talked about too with those things was how can you personalize those specific things. Maybe you know what people volunteered for in the past, so you could serve up something that's similar. Maybe you know where they're located. You have that information in your ESP, so serve up specifically a link to a page that has stuff near them, or talk about a specific event that's coming up near them, so that it's not. We talk about user experiences and the user journey and how we flow. It's how you flow from the email to the web page. So if I go from the email to the web page and I'm looking at the email and it's talking about stuff that's local to me, and then I go to the web page and it's like, put in your zip code. It's like, I can, it's fine, but it's a point of friction. You sent me the email. I gave you my information. Why are you sending me someplace generic? So you can reduce that friction a little bit by saying, hey, I know that you live in Evanston. Here are some opportunities that are near you that are in Evanston. And it makes it easier, because then I'm not frustrated when I get to the web page that I have to add more information. I can just be like, yes, I want to sign up for that.
Right. Yeah. The other thing I was thinking too is for nonprofits and volunteerism, and the one of the biggest things is that sense of being a belonging, of, hey, I'm a part of this organization. I'm a part of what I'm a part of the solution. I'm helping, right? So I think there's a good opportunity as well. I mean, we have some first name personalization here, which is great. I would almost want to see it taken to the next level. Maybe one of these images has like a, hello, my name is Millie, and that's the header image, and it automatically takes you to that day that you're volunteering, or that inclusion that I'm a part of this. And so maybe having some personalized header images, or even just scattered throughout the email, that show, hey, Millie, this is what it would look like if you were helping to, clean up the rivers, or if you were to have a little name badge here that says that I'm helping. I think that could be really impactful and go a long way.
I wonder if that header image too, we talked about image carousels in the last one. If you have images from multiple different volunteering opportunities, you can showcase all the different ways you can volunteer. Yes, you can volunteer by going out and doing stuff, but you can also volunteer by helping write letters. You can also volunteer by calling people. You can also volunteer, just kind of showing the range of different ways you can volunteer, so that somebody who maybe is not an outdoor person can see themselves here, as opposed to being like, I can't do that, but I do care about the rainforests, but I'm not going to go out and plant trees. So being able to offer that would be nice.
Yeah, and this almost looks like a video. Like I almost feel like I could click on this. So maybe using the animated video feature that we just launched this week, that would be a good opportunity if you have like a really nice, strong call to action video that you could preview right here within the email, so you can see that action right away and go straight to that video and watch more about the organization. Could be really impactful too.
Yeah.
Love it. Awesome.
I do love this.
I do too. Yeah. And I saw you, Millie, in the chat. So thank you for submitting this. Again, this is a vulnerable thing to do. And we really do love this layout and the work that you guys are doing. So
yeah.
All right. Now we're going to go to appliances. How about that?
Yay!
I love appliances.
I love appliances. We have her book. Dana, she was talking in her last talk about the buying cycle, and like, you're not going to buy an appliance right after you buy an appliance, but I kind of also want to buy an appliance right after I buy it. Like,
Sure. Yeah.
Logic Brain knows that I cannot just buy a refrigerator and then turn around the next day and buy another refrigerator. But do
Well,
enjoy
that
shopping.
it actually speaks to the folks that submitted this appliances online. One of the things that they said that who they send this email to, who the audience is their entire subscriber base, minus people who have recently purchased, which of course, definitely smart, because if I just purchased a stove, please don't remind me that I also have to replace my dishwasher soon. Like I'll my experience, I'll come back when I'm ready, right? So so it's interesting that it just goes to all subscribers. I think we have a nice opportunity as we scroll through this email to personalize this based on what we might know somebody might be interested in. So we'll just kind of take a walk through this, Karen. I know this one's a little bit longer too, but they did tell us that they have like A/B tested this to the teeth, and the layout that they have of how these appear are what win every time. So we'll just walk through this this email here.
I see those like hot banners, and the first thing I think is like, is that dynamic? Is that based on how many people are clicking? Because that would be perfect. I know with like, you can do interest trackers with Litmus Personalized, but if you go with Litmus Personalized Pro, you can get even more specific, and you can have it be like an image with nothing on it. And then if people start clicking on it, you can be like, oh, people are interested. And then if it hits a threshold, then it's like, oh, this is a hot item. And then you don't have to pay attention to it. It can just change and open organically and without having to put the numbers on it if you want to, which right. I feel like that would be a perfect opportunity. It's like, why is it hot? Is it hot because it's happening in the store, or is it hot because it's happening now?
Right. Right. And I think that could be a bit more impactful because maybe these are all hot offers. Maybe it's a certain percentage off. Maybe it's something that's super popular. But kind of like what we heard earlier today, if we keep getting the FOMO and we keep seeing it, it becomes a little bit more boy who cried wolf. And it doesn't necessarily tell me that this is actually a hot offer if all of these fridges are. So maybe there's an opportunity there to really kind of hone in dynamically what is currently trending. So I like that idea a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I like the ones that have the recommended choice, that kind of breaks it up, right? Different call outs.
I do think so we send it to the whole list. The people who are looking for refrigerators and laundry are way different than the people that are looking for small appliances. Like, I look for small appliances several times throughout the year. I'm looking for a refrigerator once every 5 years, every 3 years, depending on how rough my kids are with my refrigerator. So I feel like that should be two different audiences.
Yeah.
Or if you're I feel like if you're unsure where somebody fits, the small appliance is probably a little bit safer than saying, here's this large ticket item.
Sure. Yeah, start small and build that up, right? Like, who recently purchased because you're scrubbing them out of this list, out of the send. So if they just purchased an oven, yeah, okay, maybe we can send them deals for now. Update your small appliances. A little bit easier ask to spend $260 versus $2,000. Like that's a different audience for sure.
Yeah. I wonder too if they have like browser behavior, like what people have been shopping recently, what have they been looking at recently. We talked about not sending an abandoned cart to make them feel bad, but as a follow-up, if I know you've been looking at refrigerators, you put one in your cart and you abandon it, guess what I'm going to put in your email next time? I'm going to put refrigerators there. I know that's what you're looking for, so I'm going to make sure that that's there.
Totally. Yep. Yep. And I love these, the reviews, that incorporation of being able to show that social proof right within like that, because that's the first thing anybody ever looks up, right? Which is this, does anybody like this coffee machine? Do they like it? Is it good? And adding that reviews is so helpful to get right to the point of what people like and what's trending in there. And I love that.
Hey, Angie, can you click on one of those images? I'm just wondering what the alt tags are for them. If we ran into the same issue where they're repeating, or if there is alt tags, I can't see.
Help. Oh, yeah. Oh, here it is. Here it is. Down here.
Nope. It looks like they have blank alt text. I just went and I checked on my version.
Oh,
So it looks like they have blank alt text, which is 100% fine because we don't want to be repeating stuff. I would put in, if you do have blank alt text, I would throw in an aria hidden equals true, just to make sure that the screen reader doesn't read it out as something else. I know in the past we've said, hey, just put blank alt text, but we've actually run into a Litmus, the screen reader we use to test it on. If there's no alt text, it starts reading out random numbers and digits, and that's not good either. So just make sure you test your experience on a screen reader and make sure that what you're doing is working and it's not providing a bad experience for those people who are not looking at your email.
Right. Yeah, we saw that when we were looking at them on Monday, right, where it said, the front load, Electrolux front load, it was the alt text, and then it just repeated it here. So if anything, you were going to get really descriptive with hot offer, white washing machine, something like that. Just really, really descriptive. But yeah, I like that. I like the idea of just, hey, we're not going to have that. We're just going to have it read what the item is. Hide the alt text.
I wonder, and maybe they've already run this test, but it says buy now. I wonder if having it be more of a get more information for people who are a little bit not quite at the buying stage. And I don't know how you would find that information out. I can see, like, if they abandoned a cart, then yes, give them the buy now. And if they didn't, then get more information. Because I'm not going to buy I want to read, this is great. And this is a lot of information. It's very compelling, but it's not going to make me turn around and buy that. I still need to go and read and find out what the dimensions are and if it fits in my space. So I wonder if that would have any bearing or not. That'd be something to test.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, because I'm not going to be like, oh yeah, and then just put my credit card in and buy this automatically. This is something that needs a little bit more research. So see it in your space, or take a look at the dimensions. Something like that could be really a very specific call to action that might take somebody by surprise. Like, oh yeah, that is the next step in my buyer journey.
I like that. See it in your space. That's right, because everybody has the AR now.
Yeah, be like, okay, this is what it looks like. Awesome. Yeah. Really nice email. Really love seeing that they're testing the layout, testing where everything is. Now that that's kind of optimized, you've got the layout. I would just, start incorporating some more personalized elements, maybe start splitting up, segmenting your list based on their buyer journey. And I think you're just going to take it to the next level here. So nice job. Yeah. Okay. Karen, we have one more, don't we?
We do have one more. We might have to go look for another one. It depends on how much time we take.
Yeah, I did see in the comments that where they were asking for B2B emails, and I know we had at least one, maybe two on Monday, if my memory serves. So definitely take a look at that recording. We had a couple of B2B emails that we looked at there. But I can pull up our next email that we want to take a look at. This one is hair care and service industry. So we can look at this. And if we have time, for sure, we'll do that. We'll do that next. All right. So this is a pretty very, very straightforward, short email. What we know about when this is sent is after someone goes to the salon's website, there's a pop-up that asks for the email and very clearly tells them if they give the email, they're going to get 20% off of their first visit. Great. That's a great offer, great way to get subscribers and build your base and offer that 20% off. We do know that they submitted this and said that they're struggling with open rates and click-through rates. So, engagement all the way around. So I think that it's probably a good idea to take a look at your strategy and say, okay, when they're coming to our website, they're probably looking for pricing, probably looking for certain salon artists, right? Hair care stylists, skincare, whatever it might be. So when they're getting that pop-up to put in their email address, and then maybe they're going to use that 20% off. I think that, leading with it saying you're going to get 20% off your first visit. That's great. I think you have an opportunity to give a little bit more about your salon and why they should go ahead and book that. There is this paragraph here that kind of talks about the mission of the salon, But I think you could get really more specific if you're able to see that web behavior and you know that they clicked on skincare versus hair care, offering up some tips about how you approach skincare or how you approach hair care. Maybe just being a little bit more granular in that sense. And if not, if you don't have that information, I'm sure there's other ways that you could serve up what they're going to get, what that value is to them. The 20% off is a great value, but why should they book outside of that 20%?
Yep. I know one of the things that you need to look at for this, they talk about click-through rates and open rates. One, open rates are great. They're a health metric. I would not use them as a success metric because you don't know if that open was an MPP open or a real open. Your click-through rates, yep, that's fine. But I don't know about everybody, but from my experience, I'm going to go and I'm going to sign up for the 20% off, but I'm not ready to book now. So I'm not going to click that button, but I'm going to save that code. And maybe in a week, in 2 weeks, in 10 weeks, I'm going to use that code and I'm going to use it then. So instead of looking at those click-through rates, look at your coupon code redemption. And maybe instead of using a generic coupon code that you don't know where it got tied to, you could use a slightly more personalized, like welcome 2020, welcome 24. I know it says at the very bottom, like at very bottom in tiny print that code expires. I would put that higher up, create a set. I mean, if it expires, then that's a valid sense of urgency. You should 100% make sure people know that, because that's going to cause them to use that code sooner rather than later. And that's going to help them realize that, oh, I do need to book now if I want to use this code. And then also, I don't know, I'm really bad at coming up with coupon codes. So I'm not the person to come up with one, but come up with a code that's a little bit more specific to, I clicked on that I wanted 20% up and I signed up for this email. And then you can change it to, I was in, or my friend recommended you and I got a code from my friend and here's that. There's a lot of different recommendation companies. So if you can't do it yourself, you could work with one of those in order to help your customers recommend other people. Right. But yeah, I think the book now is very urgent, and I 100%, I never go to a salon when I need to book it. I go to a salon and then I book it for like 2 months. And even though it's, I mean, arguably I probably could click the book now and book 2 months out, but that's not what it says book now. So it makes me think that I'm going to book now. Yeah.
I'm not ready, right? I'm not ready to book now.
I'm not ready.
This email, and now it's in the back of my mind. I'm not thinking about it later, right? So bringing up anything, bringing that date up, putting a countdown timer to it, especially if it's tied to like it expires in a week, whenever they sign up, just anything to bring that in. Maybe an animated image carousel to show all the different options. You're not just skincare, you're not just hair care. You know, you do all of these other products. That could be really engaging as well.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. We have not had a lot of, I think the questions coming in the chat, even though I told y'all not to. I know we had one question come in and I answered it. It's just it was asking what the aria hidden equals true. And so that's, if you're questioning what that is, it's in the chat. Somebody mentioned that image is very off-putting. I can see that. There's a dental office down the road that has like these giant stock photos in the windows to like block out so you can't see in. And one of them, I swear to God, is the creepiest woman ever. And I'm like, how have they not changed that out? And she's got this like really weird, creepy stare. So the images that you choose 100% are going to affect how people interact with your email. Try changing out that image. It's also really tiny. And I don't know, like you mentioned, I'm like, if I'm getting my hair cut, that image has nothing to do with me.
I like the 20%. The 20% off is huge. And that's like, that was the reason I gave you my email address, right? Like that was the expectation that I had when I put my email address in. But that doesn't mean it has to be the only thing, right? Yeah, I think there's a lot more we can do to really build that engagement. Yeah.
What about the open line? They said they were struggling with open rates, which is not necessarily the best metric, but welcome instead of welcoming, maybe thanking you. Thank you for giving me your information. Here's the 20% off you asked for. Acknowledge the fact that that's where they came from. Instead of, I mean, yes, you're welcoming them and that's wonderful, but acknowledging that's where they came from and that's how you got their information, and it was very nice of them to do that, and they didn't have to.
They didn't. No. Yep. Acknowledging that. That's really key, I think. Karen, how did this go by so fast again?
I know, I don't know. I was like, oh, we've got another 15 minutes. We do not have another 15 minutes.
Oh, no, sadly. So we really, again, thank you to everyone who submitted an email. Thank you to those, to everybody that we were able to showcase. Happy to follow up with anybody that we've shown and, talk through some of the strategy things that we've discussed. And we'll be in the chat as well. If you're in the Litmus Live Slack channel, definitely come and see us and chat with us all things email. But for now, I guess this is Lisa, Frank, Leopard, and Bob Ross going off to, I think you're going to make some happy little emails.
Go make some happy little emails.
Love it. Thank you, everybody.
Everyone.